Search for a Great Pyrenees online, and you will likely find images of a serene, majestic, and gentle family pet. They are marketed as polar bears you can keep in your living room, dogs that will effortlessly stroll down the sidewalk alongside a child. But the Great Pyrenees was not bred for the suburbs. For centuries in the harsh mountains bordering France and Spain, their singular purpose was to aggressively intercept wolves and bears that threatened vulnerable shepherd flocks in deep snow. Today, they retain a lot of traits that families love. They are undeniably beautiful, they are known to be incredibly gentle with children, and compared to other large working breeds, they require surprisingly little daily cardiovascular exercise. That aristocratic, calm aesthetic dates back to the 17th century, when French high society adopted them to guard chateaux. Seeing a massive dog resting quietly gives the illusion of a low-maintenance pet. The reality behind that calm exterior is entirely different. A Great Pyrenees is naturally nocturnal, profoundly stubborn, and highly expensive to maintain. If you bring one home without preparing for these traits, they will destroy your sleep schedule and your budget. Owning a pyre is not a matter of taking a standard puppy to obedience classes. It is a complex resource allocation problem. You have to adapt your living space, finances, and daily routines to accommodate their hardwiring. When well-meaning families fail to understand the harsh trade-off between a beautiful white coat and deeply ingrained mountain instincts, the dog pays the price. This mismatch in expectations is the primary reason so many of these gentle giants are surrendered to rescue organizations. The Great Pyrenees is a livestock guardian dog, or LGD. This is a specific category of working breed designed to live full-time with a flock and protect it from predators. Centuries of this specific breeding make their modern behaviors impossible to simply train away. The first major operational hurdle for a new owner is their internal clock. The Great Pyrenees operates on a strictly nocturnal schedule. In the mountains, predators attack at night. To keep their flock safe, the dog is biologically programmed to nap lightly during the daytime and actively patrol their territory once the sun goes down. When they patrol, their primary weapon is sound. They rely on a loud, booming, continuous bark to announce their presence in the dark. Put that biological programming into a modern suburb, and you have a massive dog barking relentlessly at distant sirens, at rustling leaves, or wandering wildlife, right when you and your neighbors are trying to sleep. This barking is often mistaken for aggression, but it is actually a distance-increasing signal. The dog is trying to make enough noise to scare the threat away so they don't have to engage in a physical fight. But if that perceived threat does not retreat, an LGD immediately escalates to physical force. They are capable of immense violence when protecting their territory. You cannot train the nighttime vigilance out of a pyre. Adopting one means explicitly trading the guarantee of a quiet night for the presence of a hypervigilant, world-class property protector. Beyond their physical guarding habits, you have to contend with their psychological temperament, specifically how they process human commands. Historically, a shepherd would leave the dog alone in the mountains with the flock for days at a time. The dog had to assess threats and make life or death decisions completely independently, without a human to give them orders. This independence means the modern pyre is highly intelligent, but they are completely non-biddable. Biddability is a dog's natural willingness to follow human instructions, and a Pyrenees has almost none of it. This chart compares a Pyrenees to a golden retriever. The retriever scores high on the desire to please. The Pyrenees spikes oppositely: extreme guarding instinct, minimal biddability. Force obedience using aversive training, and a Pyrenees will push back. They are programmed to fight when threatened. A Pyrenees evaluates your commands as mere suggestions. You have to sacrifice the expectation of immediate obedience, and in exchange, you get a dog that is entirely self-reliant. Then there is the physical footprint. You are bringing a 100 to 120-pound animal with a dense double coat into your living space. They completely blow their undercoat at certain times of the year. To prevent painful matting and skin infections, you must dedicate a strict minimum of 30 minutes to deep raking every week. Even with perfect grooming, they shed continuously. You will find massive white dust bunnies drifting across your floors, woven into carpets, and covering your clothes. Their sheer size and their need to patrol make them physically incapable of thriving in a small, enclosed apartment. Because they are hardwired to expand and patrol their territory, a highly secure, minimum 6-foot physical fence is a non-negotiable requirement. Without it, they will roam, putting both the dog and the neighborhood at risk. Their majestic white coat and giant frame are paid for directly with weekly hours of manual grooming labor and the high cost of property modification. The most critical reality check of all is the budget. Sustaining a dog that weighs over 100 pounds creates a compounding financial burden. In veterinary medicine, every single intervention is dosed by weight. From a basic monthly heartworm pill to emergency surgical anesthesia, a larger body requires more medication. This chart compares annual veterinary costs. The sheer mass of a 120-pound Pyrenees drives baseline costs 3 to 4 times higher than a 40-pound dog. Add severe genetic risks like osteosarcoma, and a single diagnosis can demand an immediate $10,000 in treatment. These giant breed health issues wear heavily on their bodies, significantly compressing the timeline you get to spend with them. The average lifespan for a Pyrenees is only 10.9 years. All of that labor, grooming, and high veterinary expense is packed into a relatively short window of time. Adopting a Pyr is a premium financial commitment. If absorbing a sudden $5,000 veterinary bill would be catastrophic for your household, bringing this breed into your home is a dangerous liability. If you weigh the massive inputs of time, money, and patience against the dog's unique traits, you can determine exactly who should and shouldn't bring a Pyrenees home. There are strict exclusionary criteria. Certain lifestyles are fundamentally incompatible with livestock guardian genetics. This chart plots the deal breakers. If you live in an apartment, lack a fence, or demand strict obedience, you fall into the red danger zone. Avoid this breed. But for a well-resourced family valuing independent security, the Pyrenees locks into the ideal green zone. For the right owner, the payoff is immense. You gain a fiercely loyal, calm companion that commands respect, protects your family, and requires minimal physical exercise. The Great Pyrenees is not a starter dog. It is a highly specialized working breed that is slowly adapting to a companion lifestyle. If you are willing to adapt your sleep schedule, modify your home, and your bank account to support their LGD instincts, a Great Pyrenees will reward you with one of the most uniquely devoted and protective relationships in the canine world.